Good afternoon, you guys. This is Shelly from Fly with Shelly. If you guys are new to my channel, as you all know, I am a flight attendant for a major U.S. airline, and today is a sad day for all of us in the industry. It's been really difficult even to make this video. I found out about the tragedy that happened in Washington, D.C. with the Black Hawk that actually collided with the CRJ 700. We found out before anyone else. We were communicated about the tragedy that same evening when it happened, literally 30-40 minutes after. I remember receiving the email. I was in bed, about to go to bed. It was about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. The incident happened around 8 o'clock p.m. And when I started looking into it, there was a lot of videos circulating, speculating that there might be some bodies that were rescued, that people may have survived. They had a rescue mission to rescue people from the incident. The wreckage had fallen in the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. And as we're gathering out the information, I started crying. I was very emotional, and I just started texting everybody just to find out if they were okay. I have friends that work for American as well. I texted my coworkers from my airline, asking them if they'd seen the news, if they knew anyone. We were all in shock. I still am. Today's Friday. This happened on Wednesday, so we are 48 hours within that incident, and I still can't sleep. I am tossing and turning. I'm sick right now too. It's not about me right now. It's just about being sick in bed, and all you're thinking is thinking about the families that have lost their loved ones, how stressful that situation was for everyone just because they were in a plane. They're about to land. Us flight attendants were there about to clean up because it was final descent, because they were about to land within 10 to 15 minutes. They were so close to the runway, and I know what we do. I know our training and what it prepares us for, especially in case of emergency. But of course, they didn't give them any time to even prepare, because this was not that type of emergency. It was something that happened in a split second and your life was gone. At the same time, I can't explain in words how I'm feeling, you guys. Like, I've been crying a lot. I've been in shock. I don't want to start crying now, but it hurts my soul for everyone involved. And it's surreal to know that this can actually still happen in 2025. It is one of the most catastrophic accident that's ever happened to us in America. I mean, don't get me wrong, there has been some incidents with planes in the past, but this one in particular is involving so many people. It's involving children. It's involving the Army. It's involving so many loved ones, and it's not just affecting their immediate family. It's affecting everybody in the community. It's affecting people around. It's affecting uncles, lovers, friends, family members, children that they have. It just kind of escalates from that, and it's humongous, and it's huge, and it's hurtful, and I'm trying to put into words how I'm feeling, and I don't have the words. With that said, I want to kind of review some of the things that happened that I kind of saw and gathered together from different sources online. And I will form my own opinion, and you guys are more than welcome to form your own. But I'm going to give you all the facts that I've seen, that I know, conspiracy theories, what could have happened, should have, could it have been avoided, is the question. And, who's at fault here? Anyways, I've gathered everything. I came up with my own decision. Again, I'm not an expert here. I'm just going to state the facts. You guys can find them online. It's everywhere online right now. This is what has been talked most about in the last 24 to 48 hours. So to narrow it down, you guys know flight 5342 was leaving Wichita and going into Washington, D.C. and it collided with a Black Hawk. There was 3 military personnel on board, and there was that's of the Black Hawk. And in the jet, there was 64 on board. There was 60 passengers and 4 crew. So 2 pilots and 2 flight attendants. I don't know if I can get through this video without being so emotional. I've been meaning to do this video way before today. When it first happened, I was in bed and I was crying, and I remember just sharing how I was feeling, and I just couldn't get the words out. So I just felt that it was better that I would do that the day after, which was yesterday, and I still couldn't talk. So we're going to try to get through this today. But again, you guys, if you see a flight attendant, you are flying today, or you're going somewhere, just hug a flight attendant. It's really hard, even though we are not directly flying or working for American right now. It doesn't matter. I think this hits home really hard because we all are in the same business, and we know our lives are important and people's lives are important. We're always there for safety, making sure that you get from point A to point B safely. And just the fact that this happens, it just makes you realize that life is short. Life is important. Let's not sweat the small things, right? The things that we worry about are still minimal compared to what can be lost tomorrow. So don't postpone things to tomorrow that you can do today. So if you haven't said to someone that you love them, just hug them. Just tell them how much you care about them. It's never too late. Don't have any regrets, because you don't know, like I said, tomorrow is never guaranteed. So if you have something that you're feeling inside that you want to say to someone and you're not sure, just do it. Like I said, we don't know. We don't know when your life ends. It could be at any age, at any time. But if you have a chance to do it today, just do it so you can leave in peace. Sometimes lives are just taken too early, where they haven't had a chance to live it to their fullest, right? And they're all beautiful souls too. Sometimes, I don't know, you guys, I'm lost for words right now. But as you all know, there was so many close calls, and a lot of airports that are busy, such as LAX, Dallas, just different places within the U.S. Airports are super, super busy. There's so much air traffic in the air that pilots often complain that they have so many close calls, either with other planes or mainly with the helicopters, believe it or not. There was a report whereas they came close to up to 40 or 41 incidents that came so close to collision that, they reported it. They went, whew, that was close, and life goes on. I don't think anything was taken seriously until this incident that's happened in the last 48 hours, you guys. I think this is going to make everyone, especially the FAA, reconsider, maybe sit down, go over some of the things that need to be avoided, kind of minimize the traffic that is happening in the air right now, and just make sure that our pilots are, not retrain, but are kind of like, told about some of the things to look out and be more attentive to certain things. And I'm sure the towers too are going to be sat down after this and kind of, I don't know, not retrain, but they are going to, be taking some classes for sure to just kind of, pay closer attention to guidance and whatnot. Although it was no one's fault. It was an accident. You can't blame anyone in this situation. I know a lot of people are saying conspiracy theory. It could have been this, could have been that. Let me go over some of the things that I found online, and I want you guys to kind of make your own judgment on that as well. So far, they've recovered, you guys, 41 bodies as of today, Friday, of 2025. So this is 48 hours after the incident, which happened on Wednesday. They have officially retired flight number 5342, so they will never use that flight number again. That is protocol. And after a major aviation accident, that's the way they do things. They just retire that number and will never use it again, which I think is a good thing. This is a number that is going to be imprinted in our brains forever. As you all know, there were 67 victims in all combined together on the crash. So devastated. So 41 of them were recovered. Out of the 3 soldiers, 2 were identified, you guys, and recovered. We have Ryan Austin O'Hara, who's 28 years old, and we have Officer Andrew Lloyd, who was Andrew Lloyd Eves, sorry, he was 39 years old. Now the 3rd soldier, the family didn't want to release his name just yet or his pictures, and so we want to respect that, and we want to make sure that we give them space and let them mourn. They did recover 2 black box. So they recovered 2 black box from the airplane, and they recovered 1 black box from the helicopter. So right now they are reviewing in their lab to see what exactly went on, and hopefully they will share that with everyone. I cannot wait to hear what exactly went on. But it's interesting to know. We're gonna get the verbal, like what went on with the communication. We got some of that from the tower. There's a lot of footage out there. I'm not sure I'm gonna play it because I think you guys kind of know what happened. You can find it anywhere at this point. But they are gonna look at other things as well, because the black box does have different type of information. As far as the helicopter, so what I understood is that the helicopter, when they do fly at night, this took place at 8 o'clock. It was very cold that night, and they were performing some, kind of routine emergency things that they do. The Army does that constantly just to prepare for war or whatever it is that is to come our way, or if they do go to Afghanistan. So this is just a practice that they do with the helicopter. What I understand is that they fly with NVGs. So NVGs are used to see at night. Sometimes things in the naked eye you can't see, especially in a time of war when you do use the NVGs, you guys, and I will probably post a little video here. What you're seeing is everything green, okay? And then you're seeing things that are moving, airplanes that are moving, or objects that are moving. The problem with NVGs is if the lights are too bright, it blinds you and you can't see, okay? So when you have a flashlight or a light or a plane coming your way that's very bright, what happens is it blinds you, and you almost want to take the NVGs out to be able to see with your own eyes, see what's going on. And there's a period of adjustment there. They call it a depth perception. So as you're seeing things, and when you take it off, it's 2 different perception. And they are talking about how that could have affected the pilot, because he was flying with these NVGs on. And the fact that the depth perception was already at play here, when he did see the plane, you probably, if you heard the control talking to them, they kept on repeating, you have visual separation, which means you have, like, are you seeing the plane that is coming your way, because you're getting very close? And the Black Hawk said, yes, I do. Now, we think that he was seeing another plane, not the actual plane coming towards him. And when he realized it was in front of him, again, he's got his NVGs, is what we understand. When he did kind of realize where that plane was, it was too late, because it was already so close to him and they collided. So that's another explanation that could have happened. I do follow Captain Steve. If ever you guys do not know who he is, I'll leave the link down below as well in the description. Check him out. He does go over all of the tapes and what happened, and I believe that he made a very good explanation of the step-by-step of what the control was saying, how they responded. So if you guys want to take a moment and just go and check him out, he's wonderful. I love him. I've been following him for quite a bit, and he makes sense in everything that he explains, and he's in the cockpit, so he knows the language. We understand it, but not as much as they do, because that's what they do for a living. So it's really important that you understand that if you guys think that it was an accident, I feel like it was. At the beginning, I didn't, until I heard what Captain Steve had to say. It made total sense. Just because I think there was another flight coming in, and I think they were focused on that one, not the one that was right in front of them. And I feel personally that it could have been a mistake. But a lot of you guys may not think that way, just because you did see that helicopter just hit, the plane. It just went right into it. And they're very, very flexible. All right, guys, they can go up or down. They can stay at their, in place. So a lot of people are like, if you had all that flexibility with the helicopter, why didn't you do that when you saw it? And my theory is he didn't see it because he thought the plane was far. That's my theory. But I could be wrong. Again, they are going to review the tapes and make up their own conclusion as to what happened. Again, there's so many flights, you guys, that go through that particular airport. They have estimated about 8,500 planes that come and go throughout the day, only the day. And that's not even counting the helicopters, guys, because they're in, there's that training base right there, and they're just going up and down while the planes are flying. Some conspiracy theory are saying that the helicopter shouldn't have been flying that high, shouldn't have been tailing that plane, shouldn't have been heading to that plane so quickly. It was just going too fast and too high. Maybe that was part of their mission at that point. There's just so much going on. Again, we haven't had a tragedy like this. Some people say it's been over 15 years. This is not something that happens, with everything, all the mistakes that have been made years and years and years ago. We've learned from them so that we don't make the same one. So every incident that happens on any type of plane, pilots are sat down, the FAA sits down, and they try to rectify the situation so that it doesn't happen again. And the fact that this silly incident that could have been so avoided happened, I think is shocking the world. And it's shocking me too, because I keep repeating to everyone that driving your car is actually more dangerous than, than flying. And now when you see things like that, you're like second guessing yourself. Like, is flying safe now? What kind of mistake can be made? Because that was, a crazy mistake that should have been avoided. So am I safe in the air? So, and also as a mom of 3, like, what would happen to them if something happens to me? Like, this is my job. This is what I do. I mean, Wichita to Washington, we do that route, with my airline. This is something that we've done, and we do it at night too. I usually have the PM shift. So this is something that we do very often. So when we take off and when we land, we know just before we land, we know we are safely about to arrive. So we know that we can let go of our guards. Once we have landed and touched the ground, we are good. We're already thinking about our hotel and what we're going to eat, and, what are we going to do tomorrow, or where are we going to visit when we land. So our mind is already kind of releasing all that stress from flying and making sure that you guys get there safely. So could you just imagine the flight attendants and when they went through, when they just probably were thinking that, and depending on what phase of flight they were, my guess is they were cleaning, they were collecting trash, making sure that your seat was up and your belongings were under the seat in front of you in case of emergency. So just to clear your legs so that you can exit the plane safely. This is why we do that at every descent, final descent, right? Just to make sure you are safe. And then boom, didn't have time to do that. So with that said, there was 2 flight attendants that were on board. Name was Denasia Elder, an absolute love. From what I understand, she was very quiet. She was very to herself, great soul, very loved. She leaves behind her husband and 2 children, which I am so saddened by. I pray for her family. I pray for her. And let's just take a moment to just send our prayers to her and her family. A flight attendant called Ian Epstein, and he leaves his wife behind, Debbie. I heard so many amazing things about him. A lot of people talk about him. They talk so highly about him. People have met him, seen him. As soon as they saw pictures of him online, they were like, oh my gosh. And I read all of the comments. They're like, he was the funniest guy, or he gave me extra snacks, or he always had a smile. And they were all saying how, he must have made that flight so pleasant for all of the passengers, the 60 passengers that were on board. And there were some passengers that were between the age of 12 and 14. A lot of them were skaters. They were coming back from camp. from Wichita to Washington, and they were preparing for the Olympics, is what I understand. And they were fantastic. They were very talented. I think there was 14 of them. And we could just imagine how Ian, the flight attendant, how he was probably just making them laugh, giving them extra snacks, being so Ian, right? Everybody that crossed this path remembers him because that's the type of flight attendant that he was. So I just want to remember him with that positivity, that light around him, and how he probably made the best out of their final hours. It's funny because I am the same way. I see myself in him from all the comments they were saying. I take my job seriously, and I want everybody to smile and be happy around me, and I just want to make sure they have a great flight. Okay, that's my goal. All I know is once they leave, I want them to leave with a great experience. So me seeing the comments on Ian kind of made me happy and made me feel like he loved, he probably left this earth, but he left with something he loved. And that is so important. A lot of people can't even say that because a lot of people work and they're not happy with what they do. And I'm pretty sure that he just enjoyed his job because he always had a smile, and he's very, very deeply, he will be deeply missed for sure. But he is remembered in a positive light, which is amazing.
Enjoyed our hospitality. Marry one of us and you'll always fly for free. Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks for flying with us. And we'll see you again soon on American Airlines.
There's two theories. There's a lot of people feel that is a little bit fishy or suspicious. At the time of the collision, there was something that has to do with the government plane who was flying not too far from that incident. So I don't know. They say that could have had something to do with it. Okay, so I don't know. Again, this is public information. I'm just repeating what I heard.
The super crazy high amount of technology that's in this military helicopter, and with the pilots flying under visual flight rules, that those two pilots, there were 3 people aboard the helicopter, that those 2 pilots didn't see that fucking plane and they didn't try to avoid it. You mean to tell me that those highly trained, highly skilled pilots didn't see that fucking plane? That's not even why I'm questioning all of this. This is where it happened. Who's this guy? That guy right there is this guy. This guy flown by the Air Force. What's the significance of that? This is the plane I'm talking about that landed at Andrews Air Force Base just next to where this shit happened. Why was a Boeing E-4 known as the Night Watch or the Doomsday plane, which is the militarized version of the Boeing 747 that serves as a mobile command post for the U.S. military and is a key component of the National Military Command System, which is designed to survive a nuclear attack? Why was that diverted right after this happened and then landed at Andrews Air Force Base right next to the Potomac River? Why? That's not suspicious.
And if I get a chance, I'll probably put some clips at the end of this, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. There's also a correlation with military, something that had to do with New Orleans back when, not too long ago, and how they were kind of in connection with what had happened in New Orleans. They're saying military and what happened could be something of the same, could be possibly not an incident, because the military were involved. Some people are saying some drone could have had an impact on that as well. And then they mentioned something about some of the pilots coming from a third world country. I'm not going to mention what it is, but they said that there's might be a correlation from that with what's going on here. Again, all conspiracy theory. You heard my conclusion of things, but I'm just repeating what people are thinking, because a lot of people are thinking this cannot be an accident, not in this day and age, okay? So everybody's coming up with their conspiracy theory, and I'm just repeating some of them. This is very, very shocking. It hits very close to home, and again, I don't want this to deter you from following your dreams. I know I'm coaching a lot of future flight attendants, and I know they might be taking a step back because of this. and they might be feeling, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is the career for me anymore. I know a lot of us flight attendants need a moment here because we need to breathe through this and feel our pain. But you know what? If you're doing what it is that is meant for you to do, then do it. You know, enjoy what you're doing, and whatever the consequences are, it's fine. Because, I mean, you could be driving to your favorite job and something happens in the car. We never know, but you cannot stop yourself from following your dreams because of an incident, okay? So it's really important you understand that. I think a lot of people, like I said, are just kind of second guessing if this is a career for them. Again, the airspace is very, very safe. You know, you are more likely for something to happen to you in your car or walking down the street alone in the dark and something happening to you than being in a plane. But accidents do happen, you guys. They will happen in the future too. I'm not saying to that degree, hopefully not. Gosh, I don't want any accident to happen at all. But, you know, accidents do happen. And what you need to do is you just need to like take a deep breath, you know, feel what you need to feel. If it's sadness, feel it. If it's anger, feel it. And then, you know, move forward and continue with your life's purpose. And if your purpose is to, you know, share love in what you do, and you just need to continue that path, you guys, okay? American Airlines Call Center. If you guys have any questions or think you might know some people that were on the flight, they're still trying to identify some people that were there. You can call the 800-679-8215. You can call them. If not, you can go on news.aa.com if you need some more information. But if you need to share something with them, is something that you know or someone you know, you can call them, and they have a line open for you guys to answer. So again, I am so apologetic for all that has happened. I'm sorry that you guys, the family, you know, everyone involved. I'm praying for everyone. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not myself today. So, but I just wanted to share this with all of you. And again, you know, if you guys need to talk, you always have my email. You can contact me. I'm here for you guys. You know, sometimes it's just need someone to hear you out, and it's okay. You can do that. I know at my work, they have reached out, and if we need, you know, some support or some help, they are there. You know, they have different areas that concentrate in different fields, and if it has something to do with the way that you're feeling and you're not feeling ready to go back to work, we can call that line and we can communicate with someone about how we're feeling, which is so important, right? Mental health is very important. And it's okay that I'm feeling this way, and it's okay that you're feeling that way. Again, just hug someone, especially if you're traveling now in the next few days. If you see a flight attendant, just give them a hug. Give them a hug. Tell them you appreciate them. I think we need to hear that because it's hard on all of us, okay? Indirectly, we're all affected by this. And just tell them that, you know, they're doing a great job. Sometimes just a small little word like that goes a long way for us. And it's appreciated, especially in a time like this. So we want to get together and feel the love, right? And the support. Lastly, if you do have family, you guys, and you are a flight attendant or you're someone that travels a lot, you're not a flight attendant, but you're a businessman, a businesswoman, someone that travels all the time, just try to download the Flightly app. Again, it's Flightly app. I'm going to leave the link down below. I'll send the link. You guys can download it. Just let people know where you're going. It's really easy. You just write down all the flights that you're scheduled for the day. Us flight attendant, we can fly 1 all the way to 4 or 5 legs a day. And what you do is you just enter them all, and you enter the dates that you're going. And then it just tracks you, and you can send that link to your loved ones. And that's what I do every single morning, so that my kids can track me and my family, my friends, so they know where I'm at. So if something should happen, knock on wood, they know if I was on that flight. They don't have to question it. They don't have to call. They don't have to not get an answer. If what, don't know. They know exactly where I'm at, what flight I'm at, what time it leaves. If it was delayed, they give you updates all the time. It is a really great app, and it actually works on your Apple Watch. So it gives you the gate number, it gives you the time. It's a great little tool to have, especially if you have people in that industry. So make sure you download that, or let your flight attendant coworker, hey, why don't you fly, download Flightly. Make sure you let me know where you're at, and you'll just have each other's back during a time like this, right? And lastly, you guys, I just wanted to leave you with this lady. She's called Tarot Black, and she has shared some of these predictions, and she actually said that this was actually going to happen, which scared a lot of people in the community, in social media. She became super popular. Her video ended up being watched millions of times. I am now following her. I've seen her before. I'm huge on tarot. I love tarot reading. I think it's great. I do it for my amazing clients, and that's part of their subscription. And I think it helps them through their daily decisions, but she predicted something on a huger, higher scale. Not huger, but on a higher scale. And as she predicted this literally hours prior to, if not like 24 or 48 hours prior to the incident actually happening. And she was very descriptive as to what was going to happen. And she did mention both of the plane, which is scary. I'm going to have you listen to her now, and you guys let me know what you guys think.
Hi everyone, I've been away for quite a while, but I do have a couple of predictions for 2025. The first ones that I'm going to start with are to do with aviation. So I have two predictions regarding planes. The first one I get is a commercial plane. There's a lot of people on board and there's a lot of people affected by it. It's basically some sort of surprise attack on a commercial airplane. It's like, I keep getting the feeling that it's an inside job, as in that it's someone who is on board and inside the plane, or someone who works for the airline is somehow involved in this, or possibly an airport worker. The second thing that I keep getting from it is that it's a man-made disaster, so it's done intentionally. It's the plane's actually targeted. It's not some sort of malfunction that happens. The second one is, I keep seeing some sort of small plane, like military or private jet, and it's got a very important couple on board. I feel like one of them is connected somehow to technology, like there's some sort of business tycoon, if you like, and they're like a champagne lifestyle. They like the finer things in life, and they like to actually go out partying. I also get this couple have a celebrity-like following, like a big following on social media, quite successful on there. So it would be household names. People would know who they are as soon as they read the headline. I'm not sure which one comes first. I keep feeling as though it's going to be the commercial liner, the passenger plane, that's first, but it could flip. I just see the two of them, so I don't know which one's first, but I do feel like, possibly the month of February will be one of them at least.
Again, I leave you with this video. I want you guys to send your prayers to the families that have lost their loved ones, and let's continue to pray for strength for everyone here and everyone around the world as well. All right, let's get together and send that energy and that love to everyone that you know. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for following me. And again, I will see you next week. All right, guys, love and heart. Bye.
This nice guy in first class has kindly agreed to give us his 8th ex-wife's triple platinum MasterCard so we can all sit and have a time at a Motel 6 tonight. You're a very kind soul, you know that? Tomorrow, we're all going to go visit the world's largest ball of twine. I am excited about this. And if there's enough money left over, he's going to take us all to Cracker Barrel. You are a very kind human. You know that? Oh, I love that. Anybody that does not wish to visit beautiful Paducah, Kentucky, raise your hand at this time. Really? All of me, Cabin? Fine, whatever. We'll go to Charlotte, said nobody ever. My name is Ian, everybody. I am your forward flight attendant today. I want everybody to say hello to my best friend and my work wife. Everybody say, hey, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Today is day one of a 3-day trip for us today. We are going to take you folks back to Charlotte. We're going to do one quick leg to Daytona Beach, and I have got a bourbon with my name on it in about 4.5 hours time. So let's get this day started. We know the reason we have jobs is because you guys are flying. We love you. We appreciate you. Sit back, relax, and let us pamper you on this 3-hour flight to Charlotte. Guys, we're regional. We only go 5 miles an hour. We'll get there eventually. You're lucky this airplane has wings, for crying out loud. I'm just kidding. 22 minutes, wheels up, wheels down, everybody. It is a gorgeous day to fly, but it is bumpy as all heck. So we're going to try and get beverage service done by request once we're up in the air. If you guys want something, ask for something. We have rules on my airplane, so make sure you're following them at all times. There's absolutely, positively not to be 1 ounce of mopiness or groaning on this plane. I was a comedian for 27 years. I spent 14 years as a stuntman in Hollywood, which is why my head is shaped this way. You can't make fun of my head. These 3 guys can make fun of my head, all in first class. Get a razor out already. What are you holding on to? And don't make me break out the silly. We'll do like 4. Here's a kid right here. Sir, you ready? What'd the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe! Breathe! It's a wine joke. All right, forget it. We're going to have to go smarter. You guys are a smart group of people. 3 nuts were in the alley. 1 was assaulted. It was assaulted, sir. Wow, that's bad. And last but not least, since we're in Hotlanta, Georgia, y'all know the difference between a fairy tale in New York City and a fairy tale in Georgia? Fairy tale in New York always starts with once upon a time and far, far away. Fairy tale in Georgia always starts with, y'all ain't gonna believe this. Hold my bourbon. I'm gonna tell you a tale. Bless your heart. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're glad you're here. Penny and I are going to pamper you. Welcome to our house. Happy Friday. Sit back, relax, and let's have a great day.
Locked and loaded.